Welcome to the Bamgboshe Happy Hour, Season 2, Episode 5. I am Peju Bamgboshe Roethlisberger, and...
Hi, everyone. I'm Naomi Bamgboshe.
Oh, hi, Ma. How are you? What's up?
I'm doing wonderfully, sweetie. What's up? Oh, my goodness. Let me see. What's up? Mahomes is up.
Oh, okay. So you're watching football this weekend?
Mahomes is up and Rodgers is down.
Oh gosh, we're going to get into Aaron Rodgers. So I'm with you. It was a great football weekend, and
yes, it was,
and probably one of the greatest games in history, Game 4, and that was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills, and that was an excellent game. All of the games were good this weekend. I'm so surprised there wasn't one that wasn't good. It might have been the last game for Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is on. Mahomes, Allen were great.
Tom Brady is the GOAT. And he has nothing to prove to anyone. I just hate to see him go.
Yeah,
I really hate to see him go.
I grew to like Tom Brady. I didn't think that.
Me too.
Okay, so let's get into what we are sipping on so we can get this show started, because we have a lot of things to talk about today.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, Ma, we're doing some gin today. So this is the HH Bespoke Gin, and you can go ahead.
I was just going to repeat what you said. The HH
Bespoke.
HH Bespoke.
Yes.
BESPOKE.
Yes, gin.
Okay.
Yes. And it is owned by an African-American woman, Shireen Brown. And you can go to reservebar.com, and that's where you can go to order some if nationwide.
Oh, okay. Very good.
All right. So
can we pick it up locally, or do we need to order it?
No, you need to order it nationwide. I'm not sure. I know it may be in Georgia locally, but you have to order it nationwide.
Okay, because they usually have a home base where it's available locally, even if they do have an online service.
And don't quote me on the Georgia. I could be wrong on that, but go to Reserve.
No problem. Well, since I'm not in Georgia, it's irrelevant anyway. But I just wanted to know for our listeners, Okay, wonderful.
Are you going to lead us on the toast?
So this is HH Bespoke.
Yes.
That's an interesting name. Okay. Daughter, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay. Long life and prosperity, health, wealth, and happiness.
And RIP to Meatloaf.
Salud.
Salud. Good. I needed a chaser, but definitely good. Okay. So let's get on.
No, go ahead. Start, sweetie.
Okay, so let's get into some pop culture. And since Mom mentioned it early, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers has been experiencing some, roasting on Twitter after the Packers lost to the Niners 13-10. And Aaron Rodgers will probably still win the regular season MVP. His team was number 1. They had a bye. The other team that beat them, the Niners, needed a win in overtime just to get into the tournament. So Aaron Rodgers also blasted Biden, attacking him, and he questioned Biden getting 81 million votes in the election. So I asked you, Ma, did Aaron Rodgers deserve the roasting that he got? Some people on Twitter said, I guess Aaron Rodgers also got immunized against winning in the postseason, and that's from Skip Bayless. We know Skip Bayless.
Funny. Yes, I read that. Yeah.
Someone else said.
Funny anyway. Mm-hmm.
Someone else said, congratulations to Jimmy Garoppolo on replacing Dr. Fauci as Aaron Rodgers' least favorite Italian.
That's funny.
Another person said Aaron Rodgers should refuse to play for the Packers unless they hire Joe Rogan as a special teams coach. And finally, I thought this one was, unlike Aaron Rodgers, play calling vaccines actually work.
That was good. Well,
let me reread that so it makes sense. Unlike Aaron Rodgers' play calling, comma, vaccines actually work. So
okay. Well, I got it. I got it all along since he lost.
Right.
I got it all along. Well, come on, I'm just going to say this and not spend too much time on Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers has consumed a lot of time already. Aaron Rodgers brought it on himself. He knows he's a public person, and he knows that he provided unsolicited opinions, and they are extreme. Well, at least from, if you're a centrist, extreme views, and he knew what he was in for. And I do agree, we'll continue to hear from him, and some of the things he says will be popular to certain segments of America and not others. I will say I'm very disappointed that he didn't share a more enlightened and all-inclusive and more democratic, with a small d, democratic view of the country, and a more humane, a humanitarian kind of view regarding everything, public health issues and so forth. And I'm sorry that he has chosen to view it in terms of his politics, as opposed to speaking about empirical data. And the vaccine has proven to work. It's proven. It's no longer what Dr. Fauci or anybody else said. It's the reality, and that he can sort of dismiss it and deny it and espouse some other more extreme, false, kinds of theories, is upsetting. So he invited everything he got.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in Aaron Rodgers, and you know this, Ma, that I was a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, and not only just his, great ability to throw the football, but he seemed to be funny.
I was even rooting for him to be a host on Jeopardy.
Right?
Yeah, not a full time, but just sort of a recurring guest role, guest host, kind of thing for him. I was really rooting for him in that, because he had been, I thought, doing some good work to dispel that very negative stereotype of the big dumb jock, but unfortunately,
he's a quarterback, and quarterbacks historically are known to be intelligent.
Well,
but there's a difference, Mom, between being smart and thinking that you're smarter than everybody else.
Right. And also there's compartmentalizing things, and brilliant on one end and kind of out there on the other end. So we see that in lots of people. Anyhow, I'm disappointed in Aaron Rodgers. I probably wasn't a huge fan, just because I didn't know him that well, because I'm not a huge sports fan. But what I knew of him, I did like. Now, the more I know of him, the less I like him.
Okay. We both agree that he brought this on himself.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question, Ma. Do you like M&Ms?
M&M's candy or M&M the rapper?
M&M candy.
I love M&M's, plain or peanut.
Okay, so I know you've heard all the talk about the green M&M. Well, the Mars Inc. company decided that they were going to make the human-like green M&M, no longer have her signature pose, one hand on her head and another by her hip. And they were just changing her high-heeled boots to sneakers, which the company said reflected what people are wearing during the pandemic. So there's been a lot of talk, and Tucker Carlson made a big deal about it. It just kind of was really ridiculous, and he was saying they were taking away M&M's sex appeal, and it just blew out of proportion. And so my question to you, Mom, is this much ado about nothing?
Yes.
M&M wearing sneakers as opposed to wearing her.
I never correlated any M&M to sexiness.
Okay.
I have heard of chocolate as an aphrodisiac, but not M&Ms.
Okay. So you think that people are making a bigger deal about it?
Yeah, it's petty.
Okay.
It's petty. It's silly.
It's
funny, tongue in cheek. If you don't take it seriously,
if you don't take it serious,
it's tongue in cheek.
Listen, I think it's really, I think it's funny. I've never had
absolutely
a
funny
candy that wore clothes. And I've never wanted to date any piece of candy that I had. So I think all of this is for marketing purposes.
Good for you. Apparently, Tucker Carlson has had a different experience.
I think he did. So me, this is much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing.
Okay, so moving on to Little Mama. Little Mama, the rapper. Little Mama was not really happy with, she's not really happy with the way Black women are exposing themselves on Instagram. Now, she said, I quote, "It's so many Black women bent over on social media, you would think that was a mass mandate." And she said, "It's embarrassing. I get it, you're grown, but every day, what day are you classy? Just hanging out with the family, actually working out?" So what do you think about that, Ma? And I will preface that.
I co-sign on what Little Mama said. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not a big proponent of that at all. Sexy in its time and place, but just, exposing yourself, humiliating yourself. I'm going to say something that probably is not, probably is not so necessarily the most enlightened statement in some people's view. But what I'm going to say is that if coochie was stock, it would be at an all-time low because women have devalued it. Okay? Because they give it away. Give it. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Okay. These people who are on Instagram with booty shots, crotch shots, no clothing, and flinging it and twirling it and swirling it. Lizzo. I know Lizzo was fat.
Oh, Mom.
Some people might think I'm fat. Not everybody, but some people might. Look, no, because I'm not discriminating. Lizzo, a young woman, a young African-American woman. Lizzo, why I got to see the crack of your ass when I'm going to a sports game? Why am I looking at the crack of your ass? You're not a plumber. Why am I looking at the crack of your ass, Lizzo? You're a young woman. Why is the whole arse of your outfit cut out? And I'm looking at the crack of your ass.
No, we weren't talking about it, though.
You know good and well. What's your point? You proving that what? You're a woman or you got a lumpy, misshapen ass? What are you? No. Little Mama is right on Little Mama, right on. You don't have to.
Does it matter about her body type, Ma?
All of it. I'm just throwing that in there because I'm mad. Okay. No, it wouldn't matter if she had one of the most beautiful figures in the world. It would not matter. I'm mad at the Black women for disrespecting themselves like that. All women and Black women in particular for disrespecting themselves like that. That's what I have to say. I can go in. I won't even do it. But I don't want to see it. And then I saw the same Lizzo again with this big mesh thing over her. Lizzo, what is your point? You're a talented woman. You can be sexy. You can have, some cleavage out, short, everything. But cover your anus. Cover your vagina. I don't want to see your nipples. Cover that. Have some self-respect. Let somebody spend some time with you and get to know you before they know you, before they can see what you ate for breakfast.
Ma.
And when was the last time you eliminated? Okay. Nobody need to know all that.
Oh, Ma. Okay.
Don't say Ma. You asked me my opinion.
I know, but why did you bring Lizzo?
It's too much.
Talk about Lizzo. Okay.
Well, listen, Lizzo is an example.
Yes. Well,
is an extreme example.
Lizzo has talent, and Lizzo
is a talented young woman. What's the point? Lizzo, what you selling? You don't need to pick up the mic and the violin and the other instruments, whatever, all you play. If you're going to do that, you don't even need to pick up the mic in your instruments. No, Lizzo, no.
Okay.
Young Black women, cut it out. Where's it getting you? Disrespected and nothing. Where's it getting you? No. If you're a sex worker and you work in the sex industry, that's an option. That's your business. But that ain't what you're doing.
Well,
okay?
if someone is in the sex industry, I think that they should do whatever.
That's different because there's an appropriate venue.
Yeah.
There's appropriate clientele and on and on and on and on and on. That's a different thing. But you just on what? Instagram or whatever it is you're on? No. And all you can do is spread them, twerk them, shake them, expose them. No.
Well, I think women have the right to do what they want to do.
Just because you have the right to do it doesn't mean you should do it.
I agree with you, Ma. I think oversaturation is less sexy. And I think that's kind of the issue here.
Listen, ladies, there's a glut in the market, okay? Yeah. And you need to control the supply. You need to reduce the influx of coochie on the internet, okay?
Oh, wow.
The value goes up. I know some of you ladies, I don't know how much economics you studied, but it's supply and demand. Okay. When you have a glut, which is an extreme supply, the demand goes down, the value goes down. But when you have fewer, when you have less, okay? When you have fewer, when you no longer have a glut, okay, demand goes up. When it's a lot of dollars now start to chase fewer goods. You understand?
Yeah.
But if there's a glut, you throwing it all out there, hey, the value is low. Okay? The value is low. Value yourself. Value yourself.
Well, okay. We'll move on, Mom, because I get where you're coming from. All right. So next is Bill Maher versus Whoopi Goldberg. So Whoopi Goldberg has some choice words for Bill Maher. So Bill Maher said, on his show, I don't want to live in your paranoid world anymore. Your mass paranoid world. You go out, it's silly now. You have to have your mask. You have to have a card. You have to have a booster. They scan your head like you're a cashier. And I'm a bunch of bananas. I'm not bananas. You are. So Whoopi Goldberg did not think it was funny. She was, really disappointed in what he said. And she said that,
because Bill Maher was saying, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, she just said that, it's not funny to make fun of COVID. How funny do you think it is?
Okay.
People, who have lost family members
I'm with Whoopi. I'm with Whoopi because let me tell you something. I don't think it's funny when jokes are made about human suffering and mass loss of life.
Let me say this.
Funny.
I forgot to give her quote. Here's her quote. Listen, nobody on the planet really wants to go through this. This is not something we're doing because it's sexually gratifying. This is what we're doing to protect our families, and you don't have to do it, but stay away from everybody. I want to point out there are little kids who can't get vaccinated. Lots of people who cannot get vaccinated. So you're playing Russian roulette with their lives. That's Whoopi's quote. But go ahead.
Well, getting back to this thing of human suffering. I've said it before. I've said it on this show. In fact, I've said it many times. I don't think a human suffering and death and illness and all that, I don't think that's fodder for entertainment and for jokes. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it should be made light of. And I have an issue with it no matter who does it, whether Bill Maher does it or anyone, or Steve Harvey, or whomever. I don't think it's funny.
I kind of lost favor with Bill Maher a while ago from a lot of different things that he's done. So
Bill Maher's always running his mouth.
yeah, I don't.
And he's
really
on the wrong
value
side of a few things,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
I don't value much of what he says. However, I think that when people have a platform, you need to be careful in choosing your words when it
Absolutely.
comes
Absolutely.
life or death situations. And I think that's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He's a public person. So now he needs to be chary about the things that he says. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Neil Young. So Neil Young was trending because he asked his managers and record label to remove his music from Spotify because he said the music and podcast platform is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially, causing death to those who believe this disinformation spread by them. He says, I want you to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform. They can have Rogan or Young, not both. And Rogan means Joe Rogan.
Yes, I'm getting it.
So before you go into responding, earlier this month, a group of more than 250 scientists and other medical professionals penned an open letter to Spotify condemning the streamer for platforming Rogan and called on Spotify to warn its listeners about misinformation. What do you think about what Neil Diamond said? And do you
Neil Diamond or Neil Young?
Neil Young, I'm sorry.
Right.
What do you
Neil Diamond is the singer too. He's just a much older,
Yeah. And much older, aren't they both?
Oh, I don't know. I thought Neil Diamond was the older.
Oh, well, I hope I said the right thing. No, Neil Young, he's not that. I don't know how old Neil Diamond is. Neil Young is 76.
Oh, well, they're neck and neck.
Okay.
Neck and neck.
So
neck and neck.
Okay, and so he said, do you think the Rogan experience should come with a warning? And I want to say I applaud Neil Young, but go ahead.
Well, you've taken the words from my mouth, daughter. I co-sign on that also. I think he's a principled man, and I like the stance he took. And more people need to stand up because there's a saying, and I know we've all heard it, but when and Dr. Martin Luther King said it, and I'm going to paraphrase. It was something like, bad people succeed simply because good people say nothing. Okay? Yeah. So good people, good quote unquote, people need to stand up, need to say something, need to stop letting unprincipled people and people who are spreading false and dangerous information just for their own self-aggrandizement or for their own sense of power or whatever, but not for the good of the community or the country as a whole, succeed. We can't let those people succeed. We cannot let those people succeed. And just good on Neil Young. Good on Neil Young. And Spotify has got to have some kind of social conscience as well.
Well, yeah, you don't know Spotify, but I'll leave that alone.
Well, we can do Spotify a different day because that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other, yeah.
Right. I got it, No,
I got you. Okay, so I agree with you, Mom. Congratulations for Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas for welcoming a baby via surrogacy. We don't have to get into that unless there's something you want to say about that, Ma.
No.
Ma, Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick are dating. How do you feel about that?
Bill Hader's funny, isn't he?
Bill Hader is funny, yeah.
Well, that's good. I've always chosen men who made me laugh.
Yeah. Yes, that I know.
Hey, until they didn't, until they were no longer funny. But anyway, I've always liked men to make me laugh. And a Kendrick guy, I just hope you keep a job. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they're good. I think they're
Okay,
financially. I don't
that's
think
all I
that's
gotta say. Eddie Kendricks, I hope you keep a job so you can keep on laughing. That's all I can say. Okay, but that's lovely. That's nice.
okay. All right. So
I'm not sure what the controversy about that is,
there's no
but lovely.
controversy. I just wanted to know what
That's
your opinion
lovely.
was.
Oh, love makes the world go round. So
Yeah,
go ahead,
that's
whatever.
what they say. Okay.
Yep.
So your favorite person, Mr. Kanye West, has been, I know you love to talk about him.
Oh, geez, we're wasting more energy on him.
He's been hitting up the town with his new lady, Julia Fox. He
Good.
wants everyone to know that she's used to dating billionaires. Well, he has a new documentary that's going to be airing on Netflix. I think it comes out on February 16th.
Yeah, well, you can let me know how it is, sweetie.
I was gonna ask, are you excited, Ma? It's called Genius. It's not spelled genius in the traditional way.
It
It's
doesn't matter.
called Genius, and so it's a trilogy. And it's 21 years in the making. Are you excited about it?
And no, I don't care what it is. I won't be watching it. If it's Kanye, I won't be watching
You're
it.
not gonna
I'm
watch
not
it?
gonna be watching it.
Okay.
No. You kidding? I can't spend that kind of time on him.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay. They say it's probably
Unless he if turns out that he's created a cure for sickle cell anemia or or AIDS or cancer. If something like that comes up, then I'll tune in. Okay.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But as long as his only genius is in bullshitting the American public, okay, I will not.
And he's done a really good job at that, I might add.
He's doing it. That is his area of genius, just bullshitting a lot of dumb suckers.
He used to have good music. He did.
Yeah, now it's just bullshitting a lot of dumb suckers who are buying into his particular type of illness. So that's all.
Okay, so let's move on to movies. And we have two movies that we reviewed this week. The first movie, okay. So it's called Vanish, Searching for My Sister, starring Tatiana Ali and Jasmine Guy.
Yes.
So this is and Tretch has a small role in there. Did you catch that, Ma?
I did see him somewhere in there with his bald head and looking very serious and official. Yeah, I saw him in there.
So this is the story.
He had on glasses or not or something. I saw him in there looking real untretch-like, but I saw him.
Yeah.
I said to myself, boy, is that Tretch? I think it is.
So
I guess he quit doing porn, or either
he might still do porn. He may still do that on the side. I'm not sure.
I gotta look him up. I gotta look his name up and see what site he's on. Go ahead, sweetie. I never saw any of his work. No, I haven't seen any of his work. I just heard that he did. I never saw it,
Are you sure you haven't seen anybody?
No, I really haven't. You know how I recognize
him. You said he looked different. Which
no, I mean they tried to fix him up differently, No, I mean he looks different from when he used to sing hip hop parade, okay. He looks different from that. Of course, that was only about 40 years ago, or maybe 30 or whatever.
Okay, so this is the story of how Jada, the character Jada, decides that she's going to take things into her own hands after her sister Kayla.
So that's Tatiana Ali in a double role, playing herself and her twin sister.
Well, there you go. Yes, she's playing both roles. After she goes missing, she borrows $2,000 from her sister, who is Tatiana Ali, like you said, both roles. So Tatiana Ali pretends to be her twin sister. And they're both of them are single moms. One is the quote unquote, good girl, and one is quote unquote the one that's kind of going rogue and has had an addiction problem. And Jasmine Guy is a detective.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think of Vanish? Searching for My Sister.
Okay, let me tell you what I thought. I thought it was a bad movie, bad acting, bad wig. I thought a lot of it was bad. But what I thought was good, let me tell you what I thought was good.
Yeah.
I thought her dedication to her sister was good. And her dedication to her little niece, her sister's daughter, I thought was good, and her determination to find her sister's killer. I thought those things were good. And that's what I'm going to say about that movie.
Yeah, I don't even know exactly what happened. It was some confusion. There was.
Well, in the end, it went from acting into a real case.
Yeah.
Like you would normally say just in like an epilogue, like they used to do with the old Quinn Martin movies back in the day, the old Quinn Martin series. They used to have an epilogue at the end, but this was kind of more than an epilogue. It was sort of a whole nother little mini story of a real twin sister,
right,
searching for her real murdered or missing sister.
Right.
So that part was kind of confusing because you're like, well, did I blink? Was it a commercial? Is this a whole nother movie? So that part was odd. And the segue that they did was not fully explained.
It was
sort of really strange. Yeah.
And yes. And okay, I'm not gonna say anything too bad. What I will, let me just say, I like Tatiana Ali. I love Jasmine Guy. I would like Jasmine Guy is definitely capable of better than this. Tatiana Ali, well, okay.
And there's several Black women. I would say out of the last 5 Black women I've seen on TV, at least 3 or 4 of them have been lesbians. They have a lot of Black.
Oh, you mean Jasmine Guy playing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Well, either they are with their wife or woman or whatever, or they make a pronouncement that they have a wife.
Well, that's fine. I don't see what the issue is with that. If that's,
I see the issue as some overrepresentation as to overcorrect or overrepresent. That's the issue that I see. That's all.
I got you. You see, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that was part of the role. Yeah.
Peacemaker, Adebayo. I mean, just on and on. Yeah,
that's true. And yeah, that's definitely true. And Jasmine Guy, as far as I know, was not lesbian, and the character in the Peacemaker is not the real actress is not lesbian. But, that's a whole nother conversation that we can get into.
Oh yeah.
Having LGBTQ plus play gay roles, or
that is correct.
Yeah, and those two are not.
That is absolutely correct.
So for me, I'm in total agreement with you about this picture. Oh, you can tell me what your review is, and I'll just give you my rating so we can move on. Not much for this.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's going high, a hooch, but kind of high hooch, right?
It's a high hooch, yeah.
I'm giving it a high hooch.
Yeah, I think they did the best they could with what they were working with, right? But I'm gonna give them about a 3.5 for hooch. I did not enjoy the picture. Like I said, like Tatiana Ali, really love Jasmine Guy. I would like to see Jasmine Guy in particular in better vehicles. So hooch for Vanish, Searching for My Sister. So let's get into Coda. Coda is a coming of age comedy drama, and the lead actress is Amelia Jones, and she's the I guess like eponymous. I guess that's that's what you call it, Coda. So she's the child of deaf adults, and she's the only one who can hear.
And has a deaf sibling.
Yeah, she's the only one that can hear in the family. That's what I meant to say. And it stars Troy Kutzer as Frank Rossi, who's the father, and I think he's the best character in this.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was good. He was really good. And of course, we already know Marlee Matlin.
Yes, as Jackie Rossi, the mom. Daniel Durant, Leo Rossi as the brother, and then we have with his name is Ahinio. I think it's Ahinio Derbez playing Bernardo, the musical teacher and musical
It
teacher,
was
choir
good.
teacher.
The music teacher was very good.
He
Yeah, he
was
was good
good.
too.
He was good.
Mhm.
And the love interest, he's pretty good. He's okay. And then the best friend, well, she was sweet. She was cute. Amy Forsyth. So the family owns a fishing boat business and they need Ruby, played by Amelia Jones, help to translate and to just pretty much do everyday operations. She's a senior in high school. She goes out on the boat every day before school and even goes to school smelling like fish, which is not good. And so, but her secret is she can sing. So, Mom, what did you think about
Singing is her secret talent,
your
right?
secret
And
talent?
she takes a little bit of, abuse from a couple of the other students,
Mhm.
girls in particular, because she apparently does really smell like fish on occasion.
Oh,
And so she has a little bit of a, issue in school, but it doesn't get her down. She's able to overcome all that kind of stuff.
mhm.
And she loves to sing. When she's on the boat, she's always singing. In fact, when the picture comes on, she's singing really, really good. And and she's helping out the family. She's been, translating for them as long as she can remember, because she's the only one who can speak in the family. And so it's something she's just accustomed to doing and being around her family all the time. Family's very dependent on her, because without her, they can't operate the boat,
Mhm.
because they can't, they can't hear the signals, and they can't, and so on and so forth. So they really need her or someone else who can speak, to do that. And for them, it's been the daughter, because they couldn't afford to pay someone else, because they only make a modest, money, a modest amount of money. So it's interesting in that, as far as it goes with that. But then it just sort of becomes something very, very familiar, with the only real difference being that the family cannot speak. That becomes the real significant part, or the only distinguishing part of the whole movie, because everything is her finding out. She found a boyfriend along the way when she joined the band, or whatever the heck,
The
music,
choir, yeah.
the choir, or whatever.
Don't you
And
think it was funny about the choir, Ma, how everybody could sing in the choir? Because when I remember in high school,
nobody could sing. One or two people.
maybe one,
One or
right?
two people could sing, right? And the
Everybody
rest
in
just,
there could
and
sing.
the rest just either wish they could sing, or wanted to hang out, or like somebody who did sing that was
Right,
going to the choir, or whatever.
right.
Yeah. So, it had some cutesy little parts to it. The parents were very sexually active, so they were funny,
Yeah.
and they were very endearing. I did like that part about it. But overall, she did triumph.
Ma.
She was trying very hard to gain her independence from the family, and
Okay.
she did triumph. So it was very good. So it was very familiar. It was very familiar, but it was very good. I mean, very heartwarming, that kind of thing. Not very good, but that she was able to, be successful. Her and the family in the end were successful, right?
I don't know, Ma.
Well, I'm thinking they found a place of comfort. I won't say exactly where and what and how, but they were,
I,
it
I,
was it was basically a movie full of hope.
I think it was what I think it was. I think it was a good movie. I think it was funny,
Mhm.
quirky, and like you said, it was different that the family was deaf, so that was something that they had going for them. However, it was very predictable. There were certain things where I can
Clearly.
call that were going to happen. Right in the next scene after something initially happened. I think it's something that people will enjoy. You can watch as a family for the most part. There's a couple little cute little little sex scenes, but they aren't overtly sexy. It's not too much. What do you give Coda?
I'm gonna give Coda a high premium.
Okay, and so
Okay.
what
I'm
is
giving I'm giving them 7.
okay? I was
Okay.
yeah, I was
7.
thinking very similar to you with this one. I'm gonna give it a premium 7.5. I recommend you watch it. It didn't, knock me off my feet, but it was definitely entertaining and heartfelt.
Right. And you'll feel good when it's over. You'll feel good, and there'll be times when it'll make you smile. So it isn't just a tear jerker. Although it has some sad parts, it's not just a straight up tear jerker. You'll smile. You may or may not cry. But in the end, you'll feel good. You'll feel good about having watched the movie and seen the development of the family all the way through. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move into TV shows, and I'm gonna take my last and final shot because I need one for this one because we're starting off with Ozark.
Okay.
So we really need a shot. Oh, fancy glass, Ma. Okay, so you always do the toast?
Okay, 1 second, sweetie. Let me get my drink together. Now, what's this? What's the name of this again?
With the Bespoke.
Okay. The HH
Bespoke, correct.
Okay. All right. Long life and prosperity.
That's gin, everybody.
Yes, gin. Health, wealth, and happiness. Cheers. Salud.
All right. Okay. So Ozark is back.
Ozark is fire, audience. Ozark is excellent.
So it's back with the first half of the final season, and I really enjoyed it. And you see, Ma really enjoyed it. So
Ozark is fire. You will be riveted. So you won't want to leave your seat.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I really enjoyed it. So let's kind of take them character by character. If you're okay with that, I'm going to start off with first saying that it opens up with a car crash. So we don't really know the fate of the characters the entire first half of the season. So the first character is, and there are some characters, so bear with me. Frank Cosgrove Jr., aka Tommy from Power, and now his own show, Tommy. So remember from the third season, his penis was shot off by Darlene. I think they put it back on some type of way.
They did. They reattached it. Yes.
He seems much nicer. His father is the boss of KC, and his father in this season was killed by Darlene. And him and Ruth are friendly now. So what do you think is going to happen with him moving forward in the second half? Or you can just tell me about him, period, whatever you feel.
You know what? I'm going to say that they will become friendlier. That's all I'm going to say about Ruth and Tommy.
Frank.
Well, I mean, I'm calling him Tommy from Power.
Some people,
yeah, because he was such a strong figure. I'm just thinking they'll get friendlier. They'll become, because don't forget, he liked her all along.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she will. Well, we'll go into
and she lost her love. Her love is dead. Well, I'm not hiding that. That happened last season. I mean,
that's fine. That's
anything that happened last season. And he,
That's totally fine. Our rule for this show is that if it is a series, we can tell what happened. But if it's a movie, we
don't. Right. Okay. Let's moving forward.
So Mel. So the next character, Mom, remember the PI guy, Mel. I think his name is Mel Satum. He's a former Chicago. We found out that he's a former Chicago detective with a past drug habit, or at least he got caught in the evidence room snorting coke.
Right.
Hired by Helen.
He lost his job. Right.
Yeah, he's hired by Helen Pierce's ex-husband to find her whereabouts. And he seems as though he may play a bigger role in the second half of the season because he seems smart and he seems like very persistent. I don't know whether or not he's going to make it through this season because
he'll either find her or he'll be killed.
Okay, did he make any impression on you, or you don't?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet. Just as an annoyance, he's just sort of, or just sort of pops up, very unexpectedly. So far, he's not really a prominent character, but his role may be building, but it may build to the point, how sometimes the role builds to the point where they're like, we're gonna have to get rid of him.
Like they did with Ben, like they did with
right.
So
I'm not sure if he's gonna crack the case or that the case is gonna end him. I'm not sure.
Okay, so the next character is Maya Miller, the FBI agent who gave birth this season and who turned out to, she really turned on pretty much everyone because she was cutting a deal with the FBI, the cartel, and the birds. And she really just kind of played.
Well, Maya is playing both ends against the middle because she has herself and her child. She has a
decision that you made, that Maya made. Do you think that it's going to haunt her down the line? Because
I think she was in a dilemma. She was damned if she did and damned if she didn't. And I think she just tried to cover all bases. I don't think she's going to be haunted by anything except maybe the job that she took as an FBI agent. That may haunt her.
Well, I don't think. No, it worries me because I don't feel she has enough protection.
Well, the whole thing is unrealistic. Listen, the whole thing is unrealistic. Why would you go meet to make a deal with somebody before you present it? You're an FBI agent, and unless you're doing buy and bust kind of thing, why? And even they have backup. They have protection when they're doing their, drug buy and bust kind of thing. Yeah. Why on God's earth would you just expose yourself to a bunch of known murderers and you're just going there alone? So, I mean, there was a lot of things in there that was crackpot. And why would she, once she got the information about the shipments, from Navarro and all that, when the gun shipments were coming, why would you go yourself? Right. Because now you're not as useful because, people have phones. Every phone has a camera. You don't even have to have professional surveillance anymore to get busted in something like that.
Right.
So, it could just be one and one is everybody could put that together quickly. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of elements to it that would, just really just very, and why would your baby have to be with you under those circumstances?
Right. Leave him with the grandma.
With the mother. Right. Why would the baby be with you in these different seedy apartments or hotel rooms or what? It's just not credible to me. Some of the stuff just wasn't credible.
I agree with you, Ma. Jim, okay, so Jim Rattlesdorf, remember, so he's Wendy's friend who is now officially the Bird's lawyer. So, and he led Marty to his house after being forced by Javi Navarro. What do you think is going to happen with him?
I don't know him. I'm not getting him.
The lawyer, so Wendy's friend. Remember when
Wendy's friend? Who's Wendy's friend?
I don't mean to yell.
I don't care. You can say what you want to say.
So he's a lawyer. And remember Wendy said, I need you to come on as my lawyer. We're laundering money, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? I was thinking somebody, I don't know. I hadn't given him any thought except as a lawyer. Okay. I mean, what why would his role be expanded? No.
Because he's now officially their lawyer now. And remember, what was her name? Oh gosh, the woman that's dead. The woman that's dead, the lawyer, Helen. Yes,
Helen. Yeah.
So when she now, she is their. Not she. He is their lawyer, and being somebody's lawyer. Yeah. I just think he's going to have a bigger role. I could be wrong.
Well, maybe he will. But I hadn't anticipated anything about him. I'm anticipating more the owners, the movers, the shakers.
Okay, I'm moving on. I just
to me, he's just an ancillary person. Maybe he, will become more important as we move down the road. I don't know.
Okay, so Wyatt.
I thought his role was ancillary.
So Wyatt is a tragedy of the show so far. He always wanted to do the right thing. I find it really odd that they paired him with Darlene, who is about 50 years older than him.
He was his grandmother.
Right. He was so sweet. He was so nice. And, his downfall was marrying Darlene and not leaving with Ruth. What are your
Right,
thoughts
right.
on
His
why?
downfall is that he needed a mother.
Oh,
And
grandma?
grandma's even better than mama in some ways, it just depends,
Yeah.
but he needed a strong maternal figure. And that's all I can see with her. She was protective and she loved him to whatever extent, whatever kind of perverted love she had. And it just was tragic. It just was tragic about Wyatt. But Ruth also loved him.
Ruth
So
loved him. Look, Ruth loved him very much, and that
so
part made me real sad because Wyatt
me
is
too.
very naive. Wyatt
Yeah.
had no business.
And it was just tragic. And I really think all of it was that I think Wyatt, I think he needed a mother. I think he missed being raised by a mother. I
What
really do.
what
And
about
I think he lived that out, that, desire. He had the need to be mothered for real. For real.
well?
He had an extreme need to be mothered. Otherwise, how can you explain his
But that's extreme.
relationship
That's
with
not even
Ruth?
a mother. That really is like a grandma. That wouldn't even
Well,
be a mother.
yeah, but the characteristics are the same. You know,
Gotcha.
the nurturing, the loving, the protectiveness, and that kind of thing. They're the same,
All
or
right.
even stronger. Like I said, in a grandmother in
Well,
many ways.
let's move on to a character who good riddance. Darlene Snell. Nothing was likable about her. She killed too many people unnecessarily. And she
At
had
the drop of a
no
hat,
business.
Darlene would shoot you. At
But
the drop of a hat.
she had no business with poor baby Zeke. She killed
And didn't
Frank.
she kill baby Zeke's mother?
She killed, yeah,
She killed
yes.
baby Zeke's mother last season.
She killed Frank Cosgrove Sr., the limo driver.
And she killed Tommy, what's Tommy's father's name?
Frank,
Frank, yeah. She
yeah.
killed him. And the limo driver, the limo driver was really going to blackmail her.
The limo driver was going too far. He was not.
The limo driver, now he can see he's dealing with a bunch of real difficult people. Why would you open your mouth? If he would have shut his
He
mouth,
wasn't sensible, man.
he could have driven away. But you mean to tell me that you're going to try to blackmail these people?
Man, he wasn't from Jersey. He
Right, that's right. He didn't know how it goes. Right, that's right.
Okay, so the other character, so here's some big players, and this is a new big player introduced this season, Javi Elizondo, but Javi. Nothing good to say about him. He was impulsive. He's very ambitious and educated, but he just doesn't.
But he has very uneducated and primitive ways.
Yeah, he's constantly getting in the way when it comes, especially to Marty, who is more level-headed and doing his business
and far less violent.
Right. So at the end of the first,
Javi is just a murderous lunatic. He'll shoot at the drop of a hat. The sheriff comes to the door and asks about who is it, Helen?
Yes.
Comes to the door and asks, where's Helen?
Yeah.
And he goes, hold on, let me turn the music down. He goes and gets a gun and comes back. And I knew it. I said to myself, it's curtains for this sheriff.
Oh,
he
yeah.
went to the door. When he turned the music up instead of down, then I said, that's it.
Oh,
And he kills the sheriff. Just nothing. Just nothing else to it. Just boom, boom. Just nothing else to it. And he's
willing to kill. He's almost like Darlene, who he killed.
He is. But you know what? But the only thing that makes Darlene worse than him is because this man is murdering because there's lots of money and power and everything involved. Well, for Darlene too, I guess. But his more directly is linked to a terrible, drug cartel and everything. Darlene,
But he's been trying to kill. Marty from the beginning of the season.
Well, I think that was his whole goal, because I think he somehow feels that by killing Marty, maybe Marty and Wendy, but it definitely Marty, that he's going to somehow get himself in a position to where he's going to get rid of that uncle, because he wants to move the uncle out.
I guess that's what it is. But Marty, to me, like, well, I'll get into Marty because we haven't gotten into Marty. But to me, Javi's downfall is there's many. He's too impulsive. He
has no control. He's out of control. And when you're out of control, you really do lose control. And that's what's going to happen. The one who loses their temper all the time loses. So he's going to lose.
He's going to lose. So he killed. So we mentioned he killed the sheriff, Darlene, and innocent Wyatt. And he said, I don't even know who you are. Like, he killed Wyatt. He's like, sorry, or whatever. He killed Wyatt.
He just killed Wyatt for no reason. For no reason.
Well, he killed Wyatt because Wyatt was a witness to him.
Yeah, because Wyatt saw him kill Darlene.
And Wyatt could have left with Ruth, but we'll get to Ruth.
Wyatt told Ruth he didn't want to leave.
But we'll get to that. Okay. Omar Navarro, Javi's uncle. So Omar, to me, I did not particularly care for Omar, but Omar kind of grew on me a little bit. Things didn't go the way he wanted. His deal with the FBI was blown up by Maya. She blew that up completely. But now he's going to be extradited to Mexico, and I don't think that's a good thing, because I think that Javi is going to have something for him. What do you think, Mom?
He's kind of doomed. He sealed his fate when he got into that and got into the murder business. He may now be looking for some sort of forgiveness, and he's shown a great deal of contrition at this stage in his life, but he's been a terrible person.
He has been a terrible person. I grew to like him as a villain, though, for whatever reason.
Well, he's been a terrible person, not totally without compassion, but too little, too late, and his fate is sealed.
Yeah,
his fate is sealed as far as I can tell.
Well, here's my second favorite character, and she might be my favorite character between her and the lead, Ruth.
I love Ruth. I love Ruth. Ruth is gangster with a heart.
She really is
gangster with a heart.
She's played by Julia Garner, and she's won awards for this role. Poor Ruth. You feel for Ruth. Ruth is devastated at the end of this. Wyatt is gone. She loved her some Wyatt.
Wyatt was her cousin?
Her cousin, but Wyatt was more like her brother.
He was more like a brother.
More like her brother, I would say they're close in age. And anyway, she and Marty seem to be on good terms. Again, towards the end of
Mm-hmm.
And I think Marty feels for her almost like a daughter, because his own daughter is more close to his wife, and
is starting to behave more like his wife.
Right. So Ruth has suffered a lot. She suffered the most out of everybody. Her cousin is gone, her uncle's gone, her dad is gone, and her boyfriend is gone. And she's full, at this point, she's full of rage. She's hurt, and she's going after Javi. I don't know how that's going to work out for her. I'm hoping that they do something magical and maneuver so that she can
not kill her, to save Ruth.
Because Ruth has been through a lot, and Ruth has become extremely likable. Even with her lovely voice, she has become likable. So I hope they can do something with her, Mom. What are your thoughts on
that? No. I agree. Ruth she's going off, like they say, just very angry, half-cocked with guns, and and she's going to get whoever killed Wyatt, and she's just hysterical. She's got the little baby with her. I think I'm gonna say, I anticipate that, or I should say, I predict that they're going to probably write something in the script that has Ruth regaining her senses en route to kill the killer of Wyatt because she has the baby with her. And at some point, she's going to hear that baby crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to stop her, because don't forget, she never took the baby out of the car. She got the baby, made sure she had the baby with her. And for all her ranting and screaming and crying and everything else, she still is protective of the baby. And
Well,
at some point en route to wherever the hell she thinks she's going, to kill Javi, how she even knows where Javi is, where she's going, I'll never know. But anyway, I think she's going to stop and look over at the baby. And I think that's what's going to slow her up, at least for the moment. Now, she may do something else with the baby down the road. The baby may be placed with somebody else or whatever, But for the moment, I think she's going to stop and rethink her immediate plan to go on a shooting spree because she's got the baby. I think that's what will happen. I think that's like the first thing we'll see next season, and from that point, your guess is as good as mine. But I think that would be the one thing that will stop her, like, immediately, from taking immediate action against the killers of Wyatt.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope for the best for Ruth.
Maybe not. It could be anything, but that's would be a pretty good, reason, because the baby's right there with her.
For sure.
And don't forget, the baby has nobody. Even Darlene, who was a monster, but somehow seemed to love the baby.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave that alone, but I do believe that.
Well, she was caring for the baby, whatever the case is. She was,
and Wyatt, Wyatt had a good heart, so
Wyatt was something totally different,
We'll see what happens with Ruth, but she's likable. She really grew up.
Oh yeah, I hope they
don't. Acting job on Julia.
Oh, excellent. Ruth is definitely the most likable female on the show.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, Ruth is good.
Next character, and to me, she's the least interesting character, is Charlotte Bird. She is morphing into her mom, Wendy. I guess her biggest role the biggest thing that she did was intimidating Erin Pierce, Helen's daughter, when she went back to Chicago, and just kind of letting her know.
While sort of pretending not to intimidate her, but she told her the truth.
Yeah,
I'll give her credit for that. She didn't lie.
Yeah, she gave her. Yeah,
she told her that that she and her parents had not been involved in the death of her mother, but if the daughter didn't leave it alone, that situation may change.
Yeah,
because they may have to, because they're all employed by Navarro.
Yeah, that's true.
And Navarro may make them an offer that they can't refuse.
Yeah,
yeah.
So she just has changed. She has no interest in going to college anymore, and
college is out. She's not even going to college at all now.
And she just seems to be like a prime candidate for to have a fling with Javi.
Yeah, and Javi is flirting with her.
Javi's flirting with her, and she's 18. She's 18.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got it. She's of age.
And we'll get into Wendy, because she's coming up after the other character, which is Jonah Bird. So Jonah, he can no longer, to me, okay, let me just say this. He can no longer pass for 14. Okay. They have him up there telling me he's 14. He does not look like he's 14. He's not 14. He is legally an adult. I'll leave that alone. So he's money laundering. He's supposed to be 14. He's money laundering for Ruth. And he said he created a better algorithm than his dad. Jonah hates his mom for killing his uncle, which is her brother, of course.
Because he was very close to his uncle, yeah.
And Jonah just tells everything. When you ask him something, he'll tell it to you.
And Jonah has no filter. Right. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're ally or foe. Mm-hmm. Jonah will just tell you. If you ask him a question, he does not lie. Not that he has no filter, not that he volunteers information, but if you ask him, he will not lie. Whoever you are, even if it implicates his parents
Mhm.
or whoever, if you ask him the question, he will give you a truthful and complete answer.
He told
No
Ruth,
lies by omission, none of that nonsense. If you ask Jonah, he will let you know.
he told Ruth who killed Darlene and Wyatt. He didn't hesitate.
Absolutely.
He gave the full name.
Absolutely. So
what do you think about what do you think for Jonah moving forward?
you know, Jonah, well, it's a mixed bag. With Jonah, it cuts both ways.
Mhm.
On one hand, you want to hug him and kiss him, and on the other hand, you want to knock him out. So it kind of cuts both ways, but I think he's more I think he's certainly more good than bad.
Oh, I think he's more good than bad. I think he's just disgusted with his mother. I think he,
well, yeah, he totally, and the mother makes a feeble attempt at creating some kind of little monument to her deceased brother, the brother that she killed, and Jonah wasn't taking part in it. Jonah was like, no, I know you're just doing that crap out of guilt, and I don't think it's sincere, and I don't want to deal with it. So at this point, up to now, Jonah is very unforgiving toward his mother for killing her brother, who was his uncle.
Yeah.
And his sister. He's really not feeling the sister that much either, because he's saying to his sister, well, would you kill me? It was the same thing.
Right.
You know? So he's not feeling too.
Well, sister just wants to let you know it was because Ben had a mental illness. So wouldn't that make it worse? I
was getting ready to say that's even worse, because Ben needed somebody to help protect him.
Right.
You know, so it was even worse that what's her name? Wendy, whatever.
Mandy's in another show we'll talk about.
Yeah. That you know, it's even worse that she killed her mentally ill brother, you know, and okay.
So we're talking about Wendy now, Ma. So Wendy has turned into to me, she turned into a sociopath. She's close or friendly with Omar.
But she certainly doesn't have much of a conscience about the things that she does.
No,
you don't see any remorse in her, that's for sure. It's just that she's very matter of fact about, hey, let's do what we got to do. And I think she wants to protect their lives and protect some of that money, because they're living good. They're living very comfortably.
Well, you know what, here's my thing with that. So she's friendly with Omar Navarro. Her husband and the son, she doesn't particularly.
Her and Omar, I mean, they don't have a sexual relationship, but they certainly do a lot of heavy flirtation.
And Omar seems like he'll take it any minute. She killed her. Well, she had her brother killed. She didn't physically.
And Marty is just oblivious to the whole thing.
Marty, see, that's my issue with him. Anyway, she makes claims that her brother is missing because of drug addiction, even though she knows that she had him killed.
She's lying to the public, telling them that her brother is missing, although she knows her brother is dead.
Yes, and she tried to throw her 14-year-old son in jail because she hates Darlene so much. And I did like that
because the son is working with her enemy, an enemy of hers, which is Darlene. Yeah,
I did kind of like that Darlene. She did kind of induce a heart attack with Darlene. I was not sad about that. No, you know, forgive me.
Darlene was so totally vile and evil. You just, you know, anything that happens to her, she deserves.
My whole issue with Wendy, you said about the money. How comfortable could you be when every minute people are after you? You got to do this.
But you said it yourself. You said it. Sociopath. A normal person wouldn't be able to sleep good at night.
That's true.
But if I'm a sociopathic, I can have a couple drinks, hot chocolate, nice glass of wine, and I'm in bed because I don't give a damn, because by definition, that's what a sociopath is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where I'm thinking you got the sociopath from, because she's doing all these things and she seems unbothered by 99% of it.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Well, I guess Marty. So Marty has been the most even keeled.
Let me preface this also by saying I like Marty. I mean, given the circumstances, for what he's working with,
Yeah.
Marty comes across as a level-headed, caring kind of person.
He does. He's trying to keep his family alive. That's
Right.
what his main goal is, trying to keep his family alive.
He's trying to keep his family alive,
Trying to become more powerful.
he's trying to keep as many people alive as he can.
And
right?
Connection, yes, and he has a connection with Ruth. He really cares about Ruth, not in more of a fatherly daughter way, not
totally. No, nothing sexual or anything like that. No, he really does care about her. I think that's the thing. I think he cares about everybody, but like you said, remember from the very beginning, his wife was having an affair. Yeah. So she was already not caring in the way that she should have been.
No, but what I will say about her having an affair, we didn't know where that was going to go, because there have been characters in these shows where they've had affairs, and they had affairs just to do it. They were bored. Oh, the person wasn't paying them attention. No excuse to have an affair. Not saying that. We didn't know that she was having an affair because she was an evil bee.
Right.
We didn't know that.
Right.
And now we found
that had to unfold as the story, progressed. But so Marty is kind of forced into being a bad guy.
Yeah.
And not kind of forced, he really was. At that point, it was like, now your family is, in jeopardy and this and that. So he just really got totally, manipulated into all of the crap, and he's doing his best to make a go of it and keep everybody, like you say, alive.
Right.
And he's doing a good job at it, because he's also smart and successful. But you know what? But where he's really very smart is that he's keeping himself relevant, because once he gets irrelevant, he's doing very well at his job, running the casino, laundering that money and everything. He's doing a very good job of those things, because when and if he becomes irrelevant, then now his life is in danger again.
Yeah.
Well, not that it ever is not in danger in this whole series, but like I said, they still sort of have a use for him. He's still very useful for them. He's convenient, for them.
And so I can move on, because we still have some more stuff.
But I wanted to break all these different characters down.
We still don't know what character is dead or alive. Remember the car accident at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as promised, we were going to go
next season, guys.
Next season, second half.
Second half of this season. Yeah, that's right. They split the season in 2, 7 and 7, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys.
So
it is fire. It is fire. If you haven't watched it yet, binge it. Yeah, it is fire.
So Yellowjackets, we talked about this briefly.
Yeah, Yellowjackets.
In the last episode, and it's the story of a female high school soccer team. So it starts off in 1996. They're on their way to play a national tournament in Seattle, and the plane crashes, and so they're left to survive out in the wilderness for 19 months. And the series goes back and forth between 1996 and the present day. And the present day at that time was 2021. I think they're going to do a season 2 based on the success of the season. Melanie Linsky, from people we know her a lot from 2.5 Men, and also just from Don't Look Up, plays Shauna. And she is she can't, in the present day, she can't control her teenage daughter. Her husband seems to be cheating on her, or we think he's cheating on her. He's also the same husband that she cheated with in high school, who was going with her best friend. And then
these are the adults victims of the plane crash. Well, they didn't die, but they were involved.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, they're not, well, they're not
I
dead
mean,
now.
we can talk about it. Sorry.
Shauna is not dead yet. If she's gonna die, she's not
Well,
dead
yeah.
yet.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry.
I
This
mean,
is a
no,
serious stuff.
I just want people to know what the relevance is. The story is about the soccer team, who were, plane crash victims, most of whom survived. Yeah, but wait a minute, but it's back and forth. This is retrospective, and it brings it up to now. And so Shauna is one of the ones, and we're talking about the impact of that plane crash 20 some odd years down the road, 20, 30, however many years.
20, it's supposed to be 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years, right. They had the 25th year, the anniversary, 25 years down henceforth. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So Shauna, when Peju starts going through the names of all these characters that may not be connected to, they are the victims of this plane crash. And the story is all about the impact that this plane crash had on their lives, and where they find themselves 25 years later. Go.
Okay, my bad, man. Okay, so the other character, Thaisa, who was played by Tona Cypress, but it's two roles. Anyway, Thaisa is a lesbian who had a relationship with one of her high school teammates. And in the present day, she is a politician in a same-sex marriage with a child, with a young boy. Then we have Jackie, who is the best friend of Shauna, who is the captain of the soccer team, who's like really popular, and she's a virgin. Her best friend is Shauna, is sleeping with her boyfriend, who is Jack. Jack is Jackie's boyfriend. Juliette Lewis's character, Natalie, was more of an antisocial character, in high school, and she did drugs. And as an adult, we meet her, and she is leaving rehab early. Christina Ricci is the equipment manager.
Weirdo.
Yeah, she's of the high school team, of the high school soccer team, and she was bullied, and she was a little different in high school. And then as an adult,
is that Christina Ricci?
Christina Ricci, yeah. The Addams Family, yeah.
She was, what's her name, Wednesday or whatever in the Addams Family,
yeah. She likes to play these weird work roles. She cannot, as an adult, she cannot be trusted. She is a nurse in like a care facility, and she just seems like she is very manipulative, and you can't trust her.
We know for sure she's abusing some of those patients.
We
don't know if she killed anybody, but we know for sure she abuses them.
Yeah. So
if she's angry with them, she'll withhold their pain medication and stuff like that. We've seen her do that.
So, Mom, what do you think about this season? What are your thoughts on this season?
Oh boy, it's a lot. It's so much to go into. We need a whole show just to talk about it. It's so much to go into. There's the coach, who one of the girls is in love with, but he's gay, and he's back in the 90s. He's trying to keep it on the DL. I don't know why, but whatever. But anyhow, this is the way he's depicted in the show. So there's some feelings going on with that. And there's a budding relationship between Travis and Jackie? Is it Travis and Jackie?
You mean Natalie? Because
who was in love with when they had the plane crash?
Natalie,
okay. And Jackie is the other one, is the blonde one, right?
Is she blonde?
Well, kind of. Right? She was the one who was like the princess and so cute.
I didn't think she was blonde.
Okay, well, whatever. Yeah. It wasn't dark. It was
maybe I don't remember. She was the best friend.
She was the best friend, right?
That's Jackie.
And who Shauna went with her boyfriend.
Yeah, and that's Jack.
Okay, we're not the same person. Okay, same person. Okay, good. And so they had a whole lot of drama going on when they were in high school. Although they were in high school, they were, involved in a lot of adult-like dramas. They had a whole lot of
That's how we do in Jersey, Ma.
There you go. Of course, they were from Jersey, and so they had a whole lot going on. And then they find themselves receiving some sort of threatening letters and all kind of correspondence 25 years later, threatening to tell, because none of them have ever really told a story of everything that happened to them during that 19 months of not captivity, but, sort of, they were sort of captive audience of the woods that they were in, or the mountains, or whatever it was, wherever they were somewhere in a desolate area. They weren't found for 19 months.
They were on their way to Seattle. I don't know.
They never did say where the plane actually crashed.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't get that at all. But they went to Seattle, but they didn't make it there. Did you
like it? Because I want to talk about.
I liked it. Overall, I liked it. Now, it is not Ozark, but it's good.
It's good.
I would say it's good. Ozark is off the hook. Okay. You didn't ask me for my rating yet, so I'm not going to.
Well, what is your rating? Because
my rating is 8. Ozark is 9. Because
we don't normally rate the series, but we can. So you would go a 9 to a top shelf.
Ozark is top shelf. Well, I say this one. This one is top shelf too. Yellowjackets. I think, but lower. But lower, yeah.
I think with this show, I think that I really enjoyed it. It keeps your interest up. I think there's a couple of little things that kind of turn me off when I say, I still keep it at like where Ma says, it's like a lower tier top shelf. So definitely watch it and binge it. But I think that it started off going in a direction where we're like, oh, how are they going to survive in the woods, to where it became a little silly, because it became more about popularity contests and, oh, this boy, oh, that girl, as opposed to trying to get the freak out of the woods. And, and I think that they needed to extend more time trying to get out of their situation instead of trying to stay there.
Yeah, they sort of fell into the roles that they were in high school, except for
Misty.
Except for her.
And you see what Misty did, and Misty caused them to stay there longer.
Yeah. But, well,
kind of, right? Or we've made it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways to look at it, but she was also very helpful.
She was.
Yes.
She was very helpful, but she was. Yeah. Okay, so we're good with that. The other show there's a couple more, but this one in particular that we haven't spoken about, and it's new when it's on Prime, is called As We See It. And it stars.
Oh boy! As We See It is excellent. In this woman's opinion, As We See It is excellent. I just loved it. It
stars Albert Rutek. I could be saying his name wrong, so let me leave that alone. Rick Glassman, Sue Ann Pien, and their 3 roommates who are on the autism spectrum, along with what's her name, Susie Bacon, who is Kevin Bacon and Kira Sidrick's daughter. So the actors, like I said, the actors are actually all on the spectrum. The characters are on the spectrum,
which is wonderful,
and the actors
wonderful, which is as it is appropriate.
And most autistic characters that have been played on screen have been by neurotypical actors. Violet, so Violet is a 25-year-old cashier at Arby's, and she's desperately wanting a boyfriend. And the boyfriend that she wants is a quote unquote normal guy. And to her, normal is someone who isn't autistic. And then Harrison, one of the other major characters, struggles with agoraphobia and stress eating. And
he's afraid to go outside. Yeah.
And then Jack is a computer whiz who really pretty much has no filter
at all.
Filter. And he prefers the company of, let's say, a Roomba over humans. And that's what his thing is. And then Susie Bacon rounds out the main cast, and she is an aide and she is so sweet, so caring, so devoted. She wants to be, I know she wants to be a doctor. Does she want to be a neurosurgeon?
She wants to go to med school. And she's their life coach or whatever / counselor, and she is there with them like every day, pretty much. And she is excellent. She's extremely caring, extremely patient, extremely understanding, as each one of them struggle with their relationships, their failures, their successes, and it is just so good. It is so good. The actors are excellent, and there's the connections that they make. And did you mention Violet's brother?
So here's the other thing, Ma. So the characters to me seem they seem so real and authentic. I felt I was really seeing each experience through their eyes, and there's no episode that I didn't cry, that I didn't laugh.
Yeah. It's a tearjerker, but you also will laugh. You will cry, you will laugh. And you know what? And what it is that they all struggle to be quote unquote normal.
And whatever normal is.
Well, whatever that is, whatever the normal is,
whatever it is.
Struggle, because to them, normal is the ideal.
And I was never laughing.
And they always think that they won't have all these different problems if they're normal. And the reality is that most of the problems that they have, they'll still have them if they are quote unquote normal. And with the problems with relationships, problems with jobs, problems, with dealing with, death, loss, and it just really is. It's great.
And I was never laughing at them. I was laughing with them.
You always. You know what? And they are all likable in their own ways.
Yeah, you could see their pain. You also felt like you were experiencing their joy in simple things. And like you said, without giving too much away, like there's dating, there's the thing of illness, there's employment, there's acceptance, there's friendship, there's health, there's family, there's sex. And these were ordinary things that we all go through, and yet they went through it and they made it extraordinary. And it was to me, it was remarkable to watch. And I think it's something that I definitely think it's for adults. But I think that if you have, autistic teenagers, and I think like families all across the board should watch this and just really take it all in, because it's an experience. It's like nothing that I've ever seen. I don't know about you, Ma. You mentioned about Van. I forgot to mention him. Van plays the brother of one of the main characters.
Right. He's one of the main characters, and she's one of the residents of the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only female. It's living in the apartment. Mm-hmm. And he is good. He's excellent as well. Great. He is a caring and committed brother, because Violet is an orphan. They don't have parents. Mm-hmm. They had parents at one time, of course, but so she does know of her parents, but her parents are dead. Mm-hmm. I think they died in like a car accident or something like that. And in any event, she only has her brother. And he's an older brother, not much older, only by a few years. And he is responsible for Violet. And he struggles with that because he's almost overprotected to the point that he doesn't want her to have experiences of a 20-something-year-old young lady.
Mm-hmm. And he's afraid. He's also afraid because he sees how hurt she is.
But he too is learning that there's certain things that he can't protect her from if he's to allow her to grow and have the full experience of being a woman.
Because those are
Violet is screaming out for. She's screaming out to be a woman. And they're funny because sometimes they have no filter at all, and they just overshare or share inappropriately. Some of the stuff is just really, some
of it's cute, and some of it's like you literally want to jump on the screen and give them a hug.
A hug,
you know.
So
So
it is a wonderful, wonderful.
I mean, if I give it a 10, honestly,
Yeah,
like a
me
10
too.
in
Me
top
too.
shelf.
Me too.
So
It's
just
top shelf. Super, it's superlative. Super 10. I loved it. I loved it. Super 10. Once again, if you haven't seen it, just sit down, relax, binge it.
it's 8
Binge it.
episodes. They're like half-hour episodes.
It should,
It's
yeah, pretty short.
real easy.
You
Just
you
you'll
you
love it.
will love it. It's for everybody. You will love it.
Okay. So we're going to move on because we really had 2 more shows that we really need to talk about before we get into the quick little recommendations. But Power Book 2 was this was an exciting episode. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but this to me was one of the really good episodes.
Oh yeah. It's another one that was just off the chain. It was so good. It was another one that was high octane. And I really think the writers took their time to be creative.
Oh wait, Ma, you can spill the beans on this one, but I just have to comment on because I called you when Zeke found out that he wasn't 19, he was 23 years old. Okay. How can you hide 4 years from someone that age? How can you hide 4 years? Now, the writers, they messed up there. That was their flaw. 4 years. Go ahead, Mom.
I don't know how they're going to explain it, especially to a person who was so young. Okay. If you were older and had a whole bunch of years that you could lie about, or something, I got it. But I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of this one, but I'm pretty sure that they will. I guess he, was born at 4. He had no life prior to 4 years old. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
And now he's the oldest son.
And now he's the older one.
And he's older than the one that is in his 30s. He
wasn't a son before, he was a cousin.
All right.
He wasn't even a son at all. You remember?
I remember.
That was her nephew.
But Kane doesn't look that young. And Kane, he's nice.
And nobody looked young except Drew. And what's the daughter's name?
Diana?
Yeah, Diana. They're the only ones that look
Tariq to me looks young.
Tariq, no, I'm talking about her kids.
Oh, her kids, yeah.
Her kids. Tariq looks young, yeah. But maybe Tariq is hers too, some kind of way. We don't know how this story is going. But anyway, but it's just ridiculous. How come he's your nephew? Where was his mother? Who was supposed to be his mother? You know what? The writers are going to get real busy because they're going to unravel this. It was hysterical to me that they had him. I'm like, 4 years. He's really 4 years. And now, guess what? He's too old for whatever scholarships he was getting. Now he's aged himself.
No, the NCAA. Yeah, he's
whatever.
Yeah.
He can't be in it because he's a big fraud. Oh, he's going to get kicked out of everything. They're going to find out he's old and everything. I don't know. He might go directly to pro. I don't know. Maybe they'll take him some way like that. But to me, that was just so hysterical.
So now we got to do the kind of wrap it up with stuff.
But let me just say real quickly, but the daughter, Diana has totally aligned herself with her father, Lorenzo. She's totally over with Lorenzo because she has exposed all Monet's, AKA Mary J. She has exposed all Monet's lies. And why Monet is telling such asinine lies, I'll never know. But she has exposed all Monet's lies. But I guess it has something to do with maybe who the father is, Dante.
Well, yeah, he's terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason for all of her lies. So we shall see. But it is hot like fire. And when Diane exposed everything to Lorenzo and the whole family, man, Lorenzo was like, you know what? He looked over at Monet. He said, you know what? Get out.
And she needed to get out. She needed
to get out. Just get out. And she was she was saying to her daughter, you little bitch, you telling on me like that? Oh, you little bitch, you.
That's really nice.
So I said to myself, great, mommy. Not saying I'm ashamed, I'm a liar. I've been lying to the family for 20 years or 23 years. I have how old the boy is, I've been lying to the whole world all this time. She starts calling her daughter a B. Really good.
Very
Really good. So anyhow, so the last we know, Monet is out flat on her arse. So okay. All
so
right,
so
but watch it, guys. If you haven't watched it already, watch it. It is fire.
so Ma, we don't really have time to talk about This Is Us because I want to talk about that a little bit, but we'll talk about
Not
that
that
on the
much.
next
This is us is moving on. Okay,
let's see
whatever.
that. You know,
Well, because we're gonna have to wrap it up anyhow, because
we
there's so
get
much with this is us. We're gonna have to go into detail and wrap that one up because this is the
the
final season.
yeah,
Okay.
the recommend we always recommended, well, we recommended Peacemaker. We thought it was very entertaining. And every episode has a cliffhanger. Can't really go into it too much this episode.
Yeah, too many people, too much time, too whatever. But Peacemaker is funny. You will enjoy it. Take a look, take a peek. Peacemaker
Queens,
is good.
Queens is, good, not great. They're doing trying little things that are in the media now, like the
Queens, I
conservative.
would say stay with Queens. Stay with Queens. You're gonna see some funny, not funny, some interesting plot twists. Queens is worth staying with. Stay with it. Gonna
I
see
agree.
good character developments. Hang in there, guys. I recommend Queens.
I agree. Not quite Peacemaker, but I agree. Well, to me, Righteous
Yeah.
Gemstones, it's okay. It's silly this season to me.
Sometimes Righteous Gemstones is good, and sometimes Righteous Gemstones is a fool. So just don't take it too seriously, and you'll enjoy it.
And Boba Fett, we'll give you more updates on Boba Fett next week. We'll update you on that. So let's get into a little bit of Married at First Sight, Ma, which I don't know how much we can give you, but we just kind of wanted to say that all of the couples are married.
They're all finally married.
Anything that's a red flag for you, Ma, with Married at First Sight.
Which is a red flag.
Any
Red flag is the last couple to get
Alyssa?
married. He is Chris and what's her name? Alyssa? Yeah, Alyssa and Chris. Alyssa sounds like a one, she's another pain in the arse, already complaining about this man before she can even get to know him. On the wedding night, the day of the ceremony, on the wedding night, she's calling in the producers and she's complaining about something she heard about him that don't sit well with him in terms of his attitude and this and that. And somewhere along the line, she goes, he doesn't look anything like what I asked for. And, bottom line, she's not feeling him. Bottom line, she doesn't like the way he looks or the way he's built, or she's not physically attracted to him. Bottom line. Okay. She's not physically attracted to him and she's making a bull crap. And so she just seems like she's a problem. Okay. That's all I see right now.
I agree with you, Ma. Alyssa and Alyssa and Chris, don't trust her. Too many problems. Why won't you sleep in the same group with him? I don't think Jasmina is really feeling Michael. Michael's talking about his schedule. We'll see what happens. Olajuwon, he just has sex on his mind. Lindsay, we know she's wild. Noy and Steve, we'll see. And that's about it. 3 things that made you smile, Ma.
The sun, the stars, and the moon.
Okay. So number 1 for me is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban gave a 19-year-old African-American woman of $500,000 for her organic skincare line. And he is 15% ownership, but gave her obviously 85%. And part of the deal on Shark Tank, the other part of the deal was for her to mentor his 2 daughters, because he said that he saw his daughters and son in her. And I like that.
And how old is she?
19.
Oh my goodness, that's so lovely.
19. I love that.
Good on Mark Cuban.
Good on Mark Cuban. Number 2, Cardi B, she won her libel case against Tasha K. Won't get into all that too much. But the other thing with Cardi B is she's paying for the funeral costs for 17 people who were killed in the Bronx fire. And the number 3 thing that made me smile was football.
I love all those. Excellent, daughter. I love all those. They don't quite reach up to the miracle of the sun, the stars, and the moon, but they are wonderful.
Okay, so that's all the time that we have for today. Remember to rate us on whatever platform you are listening to us on. Subscribe to All Things Peju on YouTube, which is the home of the Bamgboshe Happy Hour. Don't forget to check out the Game Crafter for the work from home board game. Also, Recognition MT if you are in need of any staffing for your event. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the Bamgboshe Happy Hour and All Things Peju. Stay tuned. We have some special guests coming soon. And thank you guys for listening. Anything Mike you want to add to that?
Don't forget YouTube. We are on YouTube now, guys. Give us a view and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much to all our subscribers and all our listeners. Thank you. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.